morning. It's cold, but it's sunny, so I want to go out here and get some sunny coldness. Probably just make it to the store. But yeah, hope your week was productive and nice. My week is what my week is. I'm still doing my challenge. I started Black History Month style, so every day I spin a roulette of 30 containing 32 African Americans, and then I make a song about that. It's hard. Well, it's not that hard. I just put their name in Google. It usually pops up Wikipedia. I skim and then put it in there. That's easy. But it just adds another layer of complexity to what I'm doing. I'm hoping by the end of the month I'll be able to come up with some top notch, because the flow kind of gets thrown off, because if it's just free form or whatever, you could rap about whatever, but can you really be, if it's a serious person, you can't be all silly about it. But anyway, so I'm gonna do the walk first and then go home. Might take a warm shower and start that. This week was pretty filled with excitement. Not really. So I think last week I was talking about the woman I was talking to, and she sent me a message saying that well, she said a lot of stuff, but the part that kind of put that final nail in the coffin, she said, I don't understand your music. I don't, she's going on and on. I just don't understand what music's about. I said, what? Now, I never said she needs to be a lyricist. She has to break down my lyrics, find my hidden gems, keep up with my freestyles. She took that upon herself. At one point she said, I will help you market your music because I know marketing. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. But I'm always helpful for the help. I'm always grateful for the help, but please don't put yourself in that situation, because now you're going to have to be held accountable. You say you can get my this song to the top of the charts, and this is more for, her benefit, because I've been down this road. I read lots of books. I ain't a genius. I'm not saying I know everything about it, but I could not imagine her skill set would be conducive to what I'm doing. But anyway, so she sends this thing, and she sends it as a voicemail. I hate voicemails because it's hard to refute them. Like if it's a text, you could kind of circle it, screen capture. It's like, this is what you said. But then you know what people do? They say, well, that's not what I meant. And I'm like, if I showed this text to anyone, they would think the same thing too. Voice messages, I mean, they're better, but who's gonna listen to a 5-minute voice message, So, after she sent that message, I just kind of, in my mind, we're done. Moving on. That shit's just. So my only retort would be, when I say I want you to do all that shit, man. But anyway, my workplace, they recently moved me from the class I've been in all year to the other classroom, where the teacher's always yelling at the kids, and the kids are openly defying her. She'd be like, sit down. They're like, and I'm looking at them, looking at her. They're like, that's disrespectful. They're like, you're disrespecting me. Now there's history, they've been doing this all year. I had a meeting with the principal on Monday or something. I'm like, I do not want to be in that room, because they just be at it. Not good. I don't think she's a good teacher, I said, without throwing her under the bus. That's not my style. But then the next day they're like, you have to go to that classroom. So then when I saw my kids, they're like, "Why'd you leave us? You didn't even say goodbye." And I'm like, what the hell did the teacher tell these kids? It'd be like if you get divorced and you didn't tell, like, "Where's daddy?" He just left. And that's how the kids, like one kid came up and gave me a hug, like, "I'm gonna miss you." Like she must have said some shit. So then I walked past the room, she's like, "Oh, I heard that you're going somewhere." Like I'm below her. Like the principal would tell her and tell the other teachers. So she knew. And she once said she's like a Karen, a self-described Karen. She just has to. So I was like, fuck that shit. So I didn't even say shit to her. I just looked at her without trying to make full eye contact, because then she would have been like, he's mad, big mad. So I just kind of looked. Otherwise, I'd be like, what the I can't hide my emotions. They would have came out. But all day she kept bothering me. "Oh, can you come over to the classroom and help me?" I'm like, "I thought you didn't want me in the classroom." So then at one point, I think she told the principal, because she's a Karen. So she told the principal. And the principal like, "Everything okay?" I'm like, it doesn't even matter. Because I was thinking, the other day I got paid X amount to sit there and watch The Lion King. Because that was the thing they did. I got paid to watch The Lion Kings with the kids. So it's like, all right. When I was working at Giant, stocking shit, you physically got to keep moving. When I was painting roofs when I was in high school, you're out there in the sun. When I was working in the factory. So considering it's not the worst job a person can have. But, when I come home, I can't tell my dad about how shitty my day is, because he's going to double down on, "When I was growing up, I didn't make more than 3 cents a minute." And so that was a shitty day. But the next day I just came, whatever, and just keep it moving. And every day the little window of me going back to Japan, because right now my visa, it's they said I have to be back in the country within a year from when I left. Otherwise I need to return it, or I'll never be able to. It'll be like I overstayed a visa. And that window is just slowly closing. Right now, I actually have enough money to buy a ticket. But I can't leave. So that's weighing on me, but not so much, because it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm needed here. I once made a rap video right here, because my cousins used to live across the street, and I was the first to make videos. So we were over here, and I used this red background, and I chroma keyed it out. It was kind of ghetto. And when I showed some guy in Japan, he's like, "That looks ghetto." I'm like, "I live in the ghetto." Like, "Oh, they talking about busting guns." Some of them do. Some of them will go on to go to jail for that kind of shit. You gotta know what you're talking about. But what else? Anything else? Oh yeah, so I started a meetup group. Started 3 of them. I got a escape room group. Got like 10 people who joined up. I got a book reading club group. I think 15 people joined up. And I got a music making group. I think like 11 people joined up, which is pretty cool, because I don't know. I mean, we didn't have any meetings yet, but I emailed the first batch of people, and they seemed like real people who, like, yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna start something maybe next week. I gotta meet people, this shit be holed up all day. It ain't gonna work. Ooh, it's cold. My hand is freezing. But that's about it, man. That's all I really want to talk about. That's all I want to talk about. Oh yeah, what happened? There was something interesting that happened. I can't remember it though. The cold is eroding my brain. But yeah, have a nice weekend and live your life and all that good shit. All right, peace. Look at that. We get a part 2. This red building is CVS. That's where I went to. Destination. Walk back home. So part 2. So I just started reading Billie Holiday, her autobiography, the audiobook, 17 hours. And it is 17 hours is long. And it's crazy because I'm at 3 hours. It already got to the point where she's famous. So I don't know what the other 13 hours is going to be about. But usually when these books are super long like that, they talk about everyone. They'll talk about, and then she met Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong was born in such and such a place, and he did such and such a thing, and he would go on and his da-da-da-da, or talk about the behind the business thing, like they're making X amount of dollars. They'll talk about the husbands, the wives. So they're pretty thorough. It's like you're getting an education about the shit. So Billie Holiday, when I say her name to people, they go, "Oh, Billie Holiday, she's such a great singer." And I never heard her sing. I'm pretty sure I heard a cover of her song, but I don't recall going into YouTube or iTunes or whatever and specifically wanting to hear her song. And like it just says, so right from the beginning, it's like, yeah, she lived a fast life. It didn't say she was sucking and fucking. It doesn't say it that way. But it says like they would go to the good time houses back in the 30s, right? And in the good time houses, people were naked and on top of each other. That's how they say it. But she was doing this since she was 13. And she was about that money. And it's interesting because that usually, in general, when I listen to these jazz books, it's kind of, everybody shits. Everyone's got shit going on, But by the time they die and it's like, they're on stamps and shit, all that stuff gets cleaned up. It's just like, oh, they were such a great person, and yeah. So I went yesterday, Friday, Thursday, whatever. I went to my therapist. I'm like, yeah, I'm reading this book, Billie Holiday. She's like, oh, I'm like, she was a prostitute. She's like, I didn't know that. I mean, it's neither here or there, but the fact is, and it just goes on about how she never found anyone to love and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's fascinating. Because once again, it's someone that people have come to like idolize, but then they kind of leave out the other shit. You're like, well, which gives me hope, because I'm a be who I be, But people always be like, there's something wrong with you. Well, I think there's something wrong with someone, but anyway. So I might go for a long ride today, just so I could, because it's too cold, man. It is. It feels like it got colder since I came back out. But really fascinating. At my therapy session, I walked in there. I just like sitting there. Because all week I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about, because they go so fast. Like I'd be sitting here talking to you guys 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, 40 minutes. But that's just how it be for me. But so I'm sitting there just like, what do I want to talk about? Do I want to talk about what happened with my dad? Do I want to talk about what happened with work? Do I want to talk about the girl that I was seeing? So I start with my dad. And that was something like, I think last week she said, you got to be aware of other people's feelings. And I'm like, when did I say I'm not aware? A lot of people say this to me. And I always say, I don't care. Why would I care about what Paris Hilton is doing? It's not my problem. Like, well, you got to understand. Why do I got to understand about her? She don't understand about me. Then it morphed into the girl I was talking about. And I played her, because she left me the voice message. So I played it. And she's like, yeah, she does kind of sound sus. She didn't say that. She said, yeah, I could see she's probably diagnosed with something. But I wouldn't know. But she sounds like how you said. Of course she sounds like how I said. Why would I make shit up? If I say it's cold, and you're like, it doesn't think it's really that cold, then you come out to where I'm standing and hold up a camera and do, I bet you will. Like, my hands are stinging. But and then it kind of ended on some. I'm like, we could game the system, man. Because I always end with this, but we always run out of time. Like, people are easily fooled. TV, news. My dad right now is watching the news. You think the news cares about how he feels or just about keeping the eyeballs on the screen? It's set in a certain way to make people afraid. Like he's watching the politics channel. Tomorrow he'll watch the religion channel. Same thing. If no one watched the channel, it'd be like my channel. I don't get no ad revenue because nobody watches it. They lose their jobs. Ooh, it's cold. All right, but we back at the house. Look my hand, bro. All right, peace. You get one more. That plant in the background, that's my mom's plant. It's my job to keep the plant alive. And every Tuesday, I think you could water a plant every Tuesday. I didn't research it, but that's what I do. Every Tuesday, water a plant. So there's my mom saying hi. But yeah, man, it was cold out there, man. My hands are still, it's only been like 3 minutes. But I want to finish my thoughts. But like I got long fingers, as many people have told me. Usually women tell me this. They say, "Oh, Matthew, your fingers are so long and delicate. Oh, it's so warm." They say it like that. And I'm like, they say it in a bunch of people, cause around like in groups. Cause if we're alone, you're like, you know what I could do with them long fingers? Play the piano. But I don't know. So maybe the blood doesn't circulate down there because they be frozen. The only time I went skiing, snowboarding, it was fun for like 3 seconds. You're on a ski lift. Look at me, I'm on a ski lift. And then you go down the hill, but then it just got cold. And I'm like, and how that all came about, I met this Nigerian guy in Japan who was trying to get me into his club. Come to my club. I said, I don't need to come to your club. I'm Ryman Gaijin. That was at the height. Or not at the height, but it was on the ascent. So that's what I told him. I had business cards at that time. And I gave it to him, and he called me up. He's like, so you're a producer, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, can you do African music? I don't know. I never did, but I'll give it my best. And then for like the next 6 months, this man was paying me money. He once paid me like, I don't know, $1,000 just to manage other videographers. It was nice. But then he kind of screwed me out of some money. But during this time, I was like, yo, you should do like a video skiing or something. He's like, okay. My girlfriend at the time, like, can she come? Like, okay. So his woman, my ex-girlfriend or girlfriend at that time, and so us four get on the bus. We go up there. And it wasn't for me or him. Because, it's just, some people, they do that kind of stuff. They don't feel the cold, or kind of like them skateboarders or park car people who just be doing all those crazy tricks. We only see them landing, completing nicely, but, flip, you land wrong, you gonna break a hip or some shit. It's not for me. But, like, he said, what are you rambling about? My point is, we are all built differently. We're built differently. Like some people don't get colds, or they don't feel pain like that. So they could be in things where you break your wrists and you're just like, well, you just get back on the bus. Me, my skill set, I'm a people watcher. Like, as I said, I was in this new class. I've been bouncing between the two classes, but I was 90% in the 6th grade, and I'd bounce back over in the 5th grade. But now they want me to be 100% in the 5th grade because it's just unruly. So I'm sitting there, and then after all the kids go to like gym or something, I'm just like, so Lisa, Jane, and Thing, it seemed like and I'm just like giving my assessment of how the kids are, because I interact with them. I went to one kid, I said, because it's Groundhog Day the other day, and she said, I don't know what a groundhog is. I know nothing. I just moved to America. So I say, in classic Matthew-ness, I say, what's your name? She's like, it's Lisa. I said, what day is it? She's like, it's Monday. I said, what's my name? She's like, Mister. I was like, okay, Mister, at least you know the gender. Oh, you see, you do know things. Like that's like why would I yell at her? Like that's how the teacher would be like, "What are you gonna say? You don't know anything." Just let's start with what you know. You know the day. You know your name. You know I'm a Mister. My name is Mr. Bailey. She's like, okay, Mr. Bailey. And then she's going on like, I never seen it. And I'm like, sometimes they be out in the morning. You see them, and I'm walking her down memory lane. And then at lunchtime, I'm like, what did you eat for lunch? And she's like, oh, no, no. I'm like, did you have any hedgehogs? She's like, oh. So now building rapport, like that's, what am I going to get yelling at her saying, or another student, a lot of students in her class, they just shut off. Because if you yell at people every day, I'm one of those people. If you yell at me, I'm not going to fight my case for you. I'm just going to just turn off. What is there to gain from it? You're yelling. Are you listening anymore? You ain't listening. So, and this is the environment that they've been in, and maybe it is necessary that I be in there because I could offset some of it. But like, they're doing math and or whatever, and they're just like, I don't understand it, and I'd be like, where's your workbook? Like, why? Why do I need my workbook? First thought is, I didn't ask you why you need it. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you. I'm actually telling you, get your workbook. And I have met people in my life, they talk that way. I didn't ask you. I'm telling you. You're doing. So I just wait there. I mean, I'm the assistant, the aide, teacher's aide. So I could stand there all day. I'm just looking. I might say again. So where's your workbook? Like, why do I need it? Now, mind you, they were raising their hands saying they didn't understand. And I was in the class when they went over it, and they were taking notes. So then, finally, he takes it out. And then I scan the page, and I'm like, and it's like the homework. So literally, it'll say division. And on their homework, will say division. And it's like that way. So I go, this is the page we're on. Like, yeah. Like, they're so angsty. Like, and I'm like, and this problem right here is like this problem. It's like, so I just do it the same way? I'm like, yeah. And that's how we're going to get the other ones done. And then I walk away. Or they're also quick to be like, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. And then turn around and do it again. And I give them a kind of disappointment face. Come on, you're better than that. I don't yell at them. Because obviously. So, but, there's no laughter in the classes. The other class, they're all laughing and telling jokes. In this class, it's just all stressful for me. I don't want to be there all day. But anyway, skill sets. My skill set. So, to circle back, people always tell me I don't understand things. And it's just like, what? What? But anyway. So my hands are back to normal now. I couldn't do this outside. Why would I want to do this outside? I don't know. But yeah, man, it was cold. It is cold. But yeah. Another thing is some of the kids smell. Ugh. I just hold my breath. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah. I wonder if you could hear my stomach. My stomach was just saying something. I didn't eat yet. I don't know. Usually I haven't been eating breakfast. I just be going about my business. I don't think it's good. I have to switch that up. But yeah, man, it's we're gonna bounce back. So Billie Holiday talked about how, she's out there. Music was always her thing, and she would purposely stay behind the beat. She would never be on beat, and some people just hated it. They're like, "You're singing it wrong," and she's like, "Well, that's how I sing it. If you don't like how I sing it." And that was the same thing that Jay Dilla said. He was playing it behind the beat. and it was, I can't put the names with things, but throughout all these people, they were always doing something that to people, the general mass was like, you're doing it wrong, and you're just like, that's how I do it, and I'm not changing it up. And it's that kind of fight. When do you know when you should stop doing it and just give up? Because a lot of time they lost gigs. You know, again, this is an anthology, but Billie Holiday is not even her real name. Her real name is I don't, like Emily or some shit. It's not Emily, but that's not her real name. Her last, I mean, don't come to me when it comes to, but yeah, I bet people don't even know that she had another name. That's her stage name. But anyway, um, um, but yeah, she just did her thing, and she would lose gigs. You know, be like, you know what, you're not gonna do it the way we want it. A lot of the people around her like, you know, she had a temper, and we just had to let her be because we knew how she was, and that's just what it was. That usually pisses me off. It doesn't piss me off, but it pisses me off because I get this. Well, Matthew, you gotta conform to how people are because you know you but 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 in general, all it says is, you know, you got to get to a certain point where it's just like, when you're the cash cow, you could be however you want. People will take it or leave it. If you're, I don't know what the opposite of a cash cow, a cow cash. And then you got to, like right now at this school, if I want the paycheck, and I already said before, it could be worse situations. You know, they ain't out there stabbing people and all that. And the kids, they're not like defiant. They just don't listen, as all kids do, whatever. But well, actually, not all kids. Some kids listen. You know, and in school, it's like, hey, can you do that? Like right now, a thing that I'm on is, hey, there's a piece of paper on the floor. And they said, it's not mine. I'm like, now I'm trying not to be a teacher, but you know, the response is, did I ask if it was yours? But it's not mine. I said, can you pick it up? But it's not mine. Do you want me to pick it up? They don't say yes. They don't answer. They might even just turn around. I'm just standing there. Everyone's around there. He's still standing there. And then begrudgingly, they might pick it up and walk over to the thing. And then when they come back, I say thank you. I don't hear that a lot being said by the teachers. They don't say thank you. Of course, yes, if you ask a student to pick up something, you shouldn't be thanking them for it. And it is kind of, do it because I said so. But, you know, it's what. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for being example. Thank you. But and this is from the little kids. Little kids are funny because, you know, they're little. They don't know so much. Kindergarten's like, can you pick that up? It's not mine. Can you pick it up? My mom said I can't pick up things off the floor. Can you pick it up? I don't want to. These are all valid, and I appreciate their honesty. But you know, again, I'm not going to yell at them, and we got to figure out a way to get them to pick it up, make it a game. You know, and I think that's my skill set. And the principal said this as much. She's like, you know, you're valuable in what you do, and she might just be fluffing about, oh, you're valuable, because to find another person to come in and replace. I mean, yesterday the kids, every time usually when they have a birthday, the parents come in, they bring pizza from Domino's, and you know, the moms are there, and this kid's mom was there, and she's like, I don't know how you do it, because it's me for like 3 grades, and you know, I just do it. I like doing it. I like interacting with the kids. They're funny. We have our own little jokes amongst the different groups. There's one girl, she keeps getting up. She's not supposed to get up, and she just be like, I threw my garbage away. I'm like, why'd you throw it away? She's like, because it was time to throw out garbage. And there might be a disconnect. So now, for the rest of the year, I see her jumping up. I got to get there. Like, where you going? Because what they do is, oh, man. But, you know, you see I'm smiling because it's funny. The other teachers, they don't smile. They just be all like this. And the kids be, But anyway, that's life. So now my fingers are fully back to normal, and I'm gonna start writing. So usually what I do is I spin my little. I don't even see. Maybe I'll put a link to what I'm talking about. But I have a little wheel, and I have things that go, and then it goes. That's how it sounds. And then it goes. It picks a person, and then I make the beat, and then I write to it. But today I'm just gonna write to the person and then make the beat, because for the past week I've been doing it in that way. So then, 'cause I can't really. If I'm just freestyling just random shit, like I'm sitting in the living room, behind me is my mother's plant. I water it every Tuesday because that's how we understand that she's still alive inside. When I rhyme on a mic, you know what I be doing. It's be like that sunlight in the background. I could do that and then come up with a 16 verse. That's psh. But if I had to specifically rap about the type of plant that is, now I got to go to Google, search it up, and it's be like, well, that is the Riboscaracosuca. Like, I can't even write. So now I got, what's another word? So it takes more time. So the past week I've been like putting that part off until I get home, and my bedtime is 9 o'clock, but I can't go to bed until I finish it. So I've been going to bed around 11. Still got to get up at 4, and then it kind of just waterfalls, and then I'm extra tired. So I'm gonna try doing it, well, at least for today and tomorrow, since it's a holiday, the weekend, for this one. But let me just end with so that woman, when she said she didn't understand my music, right? I don't think my music is hard. It's like people who say that rappity rap, all they rap about is. Maybe that might be what's all played on the radio. Whatever. I mean, I always say I like all music, but hard metal is hard for me because they're screaming, and it's just all. But if for some reason I do like the musicality of it, like, but the screaming, and then if the topic is and the Satan, like they. But not I never said that all metal music is that way. I'm sure there's some outlier who's just like, I want to make soft metal. And if I happen to stumble upon them or them, whatever, I'm like, wow, but I'm not actively going out, but I'm not actively saying they all whatever. Nor am I actively buying tickets to go, but to just be like, just blank slate. Don't understand it. It's just too. She wasn't saying it's complicated. She's just like, what you're talking about. Like, I sent her the video, the song for my mom, and I sent her one about Martin Luther King. I made a thing, and I sent her the lyrics too. And you're saying you can't read the lyrics like that? Like, Shakespeare is different. It's a different era, and they say different things. And rappers that use a lot of slang. I'm saying, my mother died and inside I cried. For a while I did not want to go outside. But then I felt inside there was a bright light. Like, that makes no sense. I mean, yeah, maybe the speed, but she's a native speaker. I could understand my Japanese girlfriend saying, I don't know what you're saying. But yeah. So that was just like I mean, there was other shit to it, but that was just it was a weak argument. No points there. Weak. I mean, oh man. All right. I'm going to vent here, right? So, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but, she likes witchcraft, right? Buffy, a movie called Witchcraft. I don't know much about it. What in the Marvel, the one woman, the Scarlet Witch, she's a witch. I didn't watch it for that. I watched it because it's Marvel. But anyway, she's all into that. I don't understand it, but it wasn't like I was like, I don't understand it in black magic. I just, I'm not researching it, but I'm aware that's what you believe or like or whatever, and I'll leave it at that. Astrology, that's another one she's into. She's like, oh, your birthday's that, so that means I don't really care about that. I know a lot of people do, and I mean, there was this one time, I think I talked about this, but I just be rambling. But I met her, and we are supposed to go out for ice cream. I said, you want to go out for ice cream? This is Japan, right? And on the day we're supposed to go out for ice cream, she's like, I can't go. I'm so sorry. I gotta break our thing. We could go some other time. I was a little dejected because I had plans. And she's like, yeah, my friend, they're having a D&D party. I said, what's D&D? I mean, I heard of it, but I didn't know. So what's it? Dungeons and Dragons. And really, I only heard of it because at that time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated series, I was watching it because I was reliving my childhood. Because I don't watch all these in serial. You watch them Saturday, you don't watch it Saturday. So I was just watching the whole thing. And there was an episode where I guess it would be Michelangelo. He was all like, "Come on, guys, let's play thing," and maybe it would be Leonardo. He'd be like, "That's stupid," but then some enemy had some magic powers and they end up going through it. So that's the first kind of, and then a coworker mentioned it, but whatever. And I'm like, "What is it?" And she's like, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, I can give you some D. I didn't say that because I just met her. Actually, we didn't even meet yet. We're just talking. But she wanted that mythical D and not the real thing. But I understood it, but I also had to let it go. Or I didn't pursue it after that. I was just like, yeah, okay. Okay, if that's what it is. Because, in general, I believe if you're gonna break an engagement, it's up to you to reschedule it. It shouldn't be up to the person who engagement was broken. Now, because I had this conversation with my therapist, she's like, "Well, if you really wanted to do it, you should. Why should I?" Yeah, I think I said, "Why should I?" If I punch you in the face and then you shoot me in the arm, why should I be upset? Now, I know what some people are saying, the force is whatever, but if I decided that I'm going to violate your personal space and why should I? I mean, it's the wrong example, but that's my logic, kind of. So if you break the engagement, then the onus is on you to fix it. And if you don't fix it, and then I don't fix it, and then it goes the way it goes, then it comes to who's the bigger man. I don't want to be the bigger man. I want someone to be like, man, I fucked up or whatever, and this is how we're going to rectify it. Kind of like, cause a couple weeks ago, I went to a surprise birthday party. Would it be a surprise birthday party if the person who wanted to be surprised sent out all the invitations and rented the venue space and got all the food, the catering, and then told everybody to be there, and then they walked around in the park aimlessly, and then they walked to the spot that they rented, and they opened the door at the time that they chose? Would they be surprised? No. They'd be like, well, thank you guys for coming. It would take away from the surprise part. Or if someone's getting married and they're like, here's the ring and meet me at 3:00 at this restaurant and make sure you get down on your knee and the cameraman will be in the left side and I'm going to say yes. Is that how it works? Isn't, and then for you sports people, don't we get upset? I'm human. Don't we get up? Nah, I don't really care, but okay. Don't we get upset when we find out that the person was doing steroids or enhancement things? It takes a surprise out of, wow, he's doing some superhuman things. No, he's doing drugs, and that's why he's good. That's not fair. Or if we find out that someone's throwing a fight, boxing, whatever, doesn't it make you upset? Because, all right, there's no surprise in it. There's no charm to it. So, yeah. I say all that to say, surprise! I'm leaving now. And have a nice weekend. Peace. And check out my other YouTube channel. I don't know if I put the link there. I always say that because, surprise, that's me. But yeah, peace. A new month, Black History Month. Let's go! Today marks the first of our new discussions, talking about people who fought for justice because there was a time when the law tried to cuff us for something basic as skin color. We all know King was a distinguished brother who marched and shared his dream, but there was others in the background. He was undercover, mostly because of who he chose to love of. His name was Rustin, if you need to wonder. President gave him a medal for his hunger, for all the work he did when he was younger. Proud, black and gay, no parades in the summer. Because of his stances on people dissed him. They thought he was a liability to the resistance. And then there was rumors about who he was kissing. The opposition tried to stop the mission by spreading lies to blind the vision. But I guess it didn't work, cause you see how I'm living. I spend my time rhyming over rhythms. I see a lot of lines, but I'm not inside a prison. Rhyming